Hello friends, in last lecture we had discussed motion of rolling bodies. Now we are going to see the rolling motion of a body without slipping on inclined plane. So this is inclined plane. We have to take one rolling body of mass m and radius r, which is kept at height h, and this plane inclined plane surface makes an angle theta with the horizontal line. So this rolling body at height dh initially whose velocity is 0. When it rolls down, the potential energy of this body is converted into kinetic energy. But kinetic energy of rolling body at the bottom has the two different values like translational as well as rotational kinetic energy. So due to the smooth inclined plane, we can say that here there is no loss of energy during this friction. Now when it reaches at the bottom, it acquires some velocity. That velocity is denoted by v. So v be the linear velocity of that object, rolling body, when it reaches at the bottom of that inclined plane. So in this case, there is a no loss of potential energy, means there is no loss of energy, but loss of potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So that we can write this equation mgh is equal to m1/2 mv square plus 1/2 I omega square. Also we can write this equation 1/2 mv square inside this bracket 1 plus k square upon r square. Now rearranging this particular term, so v square is equal to get cancelled, so twice gh divided by 1 plus k square upon r square. And taking square root, we are getting the value of v is under root of twice gh upon 1 plus k square upon r square. So this equation gives the information about the linear velocity of rolling object when it reaches at the bottom of inclined plane. Now, how we can find the value of A, that is a linear acceleration of that body while rolling on the inclined plane. So, body starts from the rest at the height h. So, from the kinematical equation, we can find the value of that A. This equation is V square is equal to U square plus twice AS. Here, value of U is equal to 0, so that this is 0. So, A is equal to V square divided by twice S. So A is equal to twice GH. This is substitution of this value from our equation. So V square, instead of that, V square twice GH upon 1 plus K square upon R square into this 1 upon twice S. Then from the right angle of this, so this is a theta. So when we take the sine theta is H upon S. So we can write this equation here, sine theta is equal to H upon S. So S is equal to H upon sine theta. Now putting the value of S in this equation, A is equal to twice GH upon 1 plus K square upon R square into 1 upon 2 into H upon sine theta. So 2 to get cancelled, remaining part is G. H is also cancelled. So G sine theta divided by what? 1 plus K square upon R square. So this equation gives the value of linear acceleration of rolling body of inclined plane. Now the next point is moment of inertia of rectangular body. But finding a moment of inertia of any body, first we know that parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem, because these two theorems are useful for finding the moment of inertia of any object parallel to that center of mass or perpendicular to that center of mass of that body. So we'll discuss first uh, parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem, and then we'll see the moment of inertia of a particular object. Now, what is that parallel axis theorem? So this is an object. This is a body, rigid body, and we have to find the moment of inertia of a rigid body for any axis of rotation perpendicular to this plane of freedom. But see, this is the center of mass of the body. So what indicates this? Moment of inertia of a body about the center of mass is denoted by axis. And moment of inertia of a body about the axis passing through the point, any point, whose distance from the axis of from the center of axis passing through the center is suppose h. So it is denoted by I0. So what is the first statement and what is the equation, and then how to derive this equation? So first we'll see that what is the statement. Parallel axis theorem states that moment of inertia I0, that is the moment of inertia of the body about any axis at which we have to find, is the sum of moment of inertia IC, that is about axis parallel to the given axis but passing through the center of mass, and product of mass of object and square of the distance between these two parallel axes. So the equation becomes IO is equal to IC plus mh square. IO is the moment of inertia of a body about any axis passing through the body perpendicular to that plane. IC is the moment of inertia of a body about axis passing through the center of mass parallel to this one, and m is the mass of the object and h is the distance between these two parallel axes. So equation is IO is equal to IC plus mh square. Now how to derive this equation? So see here, the axis passing through any point at which we have to find the moment of inertia of this body. This axis is MOP, is the axis passing through the point O. Axis passing through the center of mass is ACB. Okay, the distance between these two parallel axes is H. Now take D point at which we have to take very small element whose mass is supposed dm. Now draw perpendicular from the D, so we are getting this one. Then what is the distance of this small element from the axis of rotation passing through the C? That is, this is a CD, and the distance between distance of this element from the second axis at which we have to find the moment of inertia. This is a OD. Now first we have to find the moment of inertia of the small element about this axis. So how we can find this? So this moment mass of this small element is a small dm and the distance is a cd square. So moment of inertia of the small element about this axis is dm into cd square. But what about moment of inertia of entire body about this axis? So we have to take integration and it is denoted by IC, so that we can write this equation IC is equal to integration of cd square dm. Similarly, if we take the small element dm and axis of now rotation is MOP, then moment of inertia of this only small element about this axis is dm into OD square, and moment of inertia of entire body about this axis by taking the integration, it is denoted by IO. So this IO is integration of dO square into dm. But we know dO is nothing but what is this dO? DO is a this is a from a right angle triangle rule of Pythagoras rule. We can say that here DO square is equal to O n square plus ND square. So instead of DO square, we can write here DN square plus NO square. But what is this NO? NO is nothing but the OC plus CN. So instead of NO, OC plus CN. But here A plus B square, that is A square plus B square plus twice AB. Similar to that, we can write here. So integration dN square as it is. But instead of that, NC square plus CO square plus twice NCCO into dN. Now integration of here, integration of dn plus nc. What is the dn plus nc? dn square plus nc square is nothing but the dc square. So we can write here dc square plus twice nc into the value of co is h. Value of co is h. So nc h into x square into dm. Now integration of dc square dm by multiplying dm on each term plus twice h integration of nc into dm plus h square integration of dm. Now integration of dc square dm is IC. Integration of dm is the total mass of that body is m, and nc is the distance of a point from the center. So any mass distribution is symmetric about the center of mass. So that from the definition, the center of mass integration of mcdm is equal to 0. So we can write here IO is equal to IC plus MS square. So in this way, we can derive the parallel axis theorem. Similarly, the perpendicular axis theorem. So what is that statement? See, first we'll see the statement. Statement is that moment of inertia of any laminar object about a z-axis perpendicular to the plane is a sum of its moment of inertia about the two mutual perpendicular axes x and y, which are in the same plane, all the three axes being concurrent. So see in this figure, this is the object, and this is a z-axis perpendicular to this plane. X-axis and y-axis, they are actually mutually perpendicular, but both are in the same plane. And z-axis perpendicular to these two axes, but perpendicular to the plane of this figure. So moment of inertia of this object about the axis of rotation is a summation of moment of inertia of these two axes. Like that is, equation is Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. But though all the three axes should be being concurrent. So equation Iz is equal to Iy plus Ix. So how to derive this equation? So from this figure, a rigid laminar object able to rotate the three mutual perpendicular axes x, y, and z. Axis x, y, x and y both are in the same plane of the object, while axis z is a perpendicular to it, and all they are concurrent at point O. Now we have to take the small element dm located at point P. Yes, this is at point P, and Pm is equal to y. Pm is equal to what? Pm is equal to y, and Pn is equal to x. Okay, they are perpendicular drawn from P respectively on the x and y axis. So the respective perpendicular distance of point M and from x and yz will be yx and y under root y square plus x square. Now Ix, Iy and Iz are the moment of inertia of the bodies about x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. So we can write this equation. Ix is equal to, what is that? Ix means we have to take the moment of inertia of this object around about this axis. Then how we can say here Ix is equal to integration of y square dm. Integration, yes, because this point is here. So this, when we take the small element, it is rotating about around this axis, and the distance is y. So y square dm is the moment of inertia of small element about this axis, but entire body we can say that Ix is equal to integration of y square dm. Similar to that, Iy is equal to integration of x square dm, and now Iz is equal to integration of y square plus x square dm. Now, what is that? Because when we take for z-axis, the distance of this small element from this is ix square plus ix plus iy. So we can write here Iz is equal to integration y square plus x square dm. Now split these two terms. Iz is equal to integration of y square dm plus integration of x square dm, and this integration of y square dm is ix, and integration of x square dm is iy. And in this way we can derive this equation. So that this is a moment of inertia, that is Iz, of a laminar object about the axis perpendicular to the plane is the sum of its moment of inertia about the two mutual perpendicular axes x and y, which are in the same plane, and all the three axes being